NASA just published something they've been holding for weeks. The full 3IATLAS image gallery. 15 spacecraft, 15 different perspectives, 1 interstellar visitor. This isn't routine surveillance. This is the largest coordinated observation campaign ever deployed on an object from another star. Hubble Space Telescope, James Webb, MAVEN, Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, Psyche, Lucy, Parker Solar Probe, Europa Clipper, SOHO, Stereo, Sphere-X, Punch, Perseverance, Atlas. Every major NASA mission with a working camera aimed at 3IATLAS simultaneously. When NASA mobilizes 15 spacecraft, that's a signal. Not just scientific interest, strategic importance, and every single image shows something different. Different structure, different tail behavior, different thermal signature, different chemistry, as though 3IATLAS isn't a single object, but a puzzle revealing new pieces with each spacecraft that observes it. According to Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, objects like this demonstrate non-standard physics. Translation: this isn't behaving like solar system comets. Not even close. This is what NASA's images actually reveal. Let's catalog what each mission captured, because the contradictions are remarkable. And so is the image quality, or lack thereof. Hubble Space Telescope saw a teardrop-shaped bluish cocoon, not the chaotic triangular tail of a typical comet, a smooth symmetric envelope around a luminous core. But the image? Blurry and grainy. This is supposedly our flagship orbital observatory. MAVEN detected a massive ultraviolet hydrogen halo, far larger than models predicted. That means extreme water dissociation. 3IATLAS is outgassing water on a scale that shouldn't happen this far from the Sun. The ultraviolet data is impressive. The resolution? 1 pixel represents 33,000 miles. Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter's HiRISE imaged a white semicircle with a thick dust envelope. NASA called this their best image. It looks like a street lamp on a foggy night. From 890 miles above the comet, this is what billions of dollars in spacecraft engineering produces, a blurry white blob where the nucleus should be. Punch spacecraft captured something extraordinary, a faint tail extending sideways. Not away from the Sun. Sideways. Comet tails always point opposite the Sun due to solar wind pressure. This one doesn't follow the rules. Psyche observed 3IATLAS for 8 hours and detected path deviations. Tiny measurable irregularities in its trajectory. Non-gravitational acceleration. The same anomaly Oumuamua displayed. Sphere-X found a hot thermal core. The interior is warmer than expected, possibly due to internal heat sources or a dark surface efficiently absorbing sunlight. Lucy saw high albedo and strong backscatter properties from nearly opposite Earth's position. Unusual reflectivity. SOHO barely detected it. Faint, yellowish, almost lost in noise. Dim, invisible wavelengths. But James Webb Space Telescope, supposedly the most advanced telescope ever built, captured what can only be described as a bunch of pixels. Bright in infrared and ultraviolet, yes, but clear? Hardly. Perseverance caught faint dust from Mars' surface. Stereo imaged vertical striping. Atlas Survey made the first discovery detection. Europa Clipper and Parker Solar Probe contributed trajectory data. 15 missions, 15 contradictory data points, 15 disappointing images, 1 inescapable conclusion. 3. Atlas is not a simple comet. Now let's address what these images collectively prove despite their poor quality. First anomaly, controlled outgassing. Natural comets eject material in chaotic bursts. Volatile ices sublimate unevenly, creating irregular jets and asymmetric tails. Hubble's image, grainy as it is, shows something else entirely. Uniform, regulated release. The dust cocoon is smooth and symmetric, as if outgassing were controlled beneath a hardened crust. That's not typical comet behavior. That's engineered-looking stability. And this pattern holds even in the amateur astronomer images, which show far more detail than NASA's billion-dollar spacecraft captured. Second anomaly, water sublimation at impossible distances. MAVEN's UV halo reveals massive hydrogen clouds. Hydrogen appears when ultraviolet light breaks water molecules apart. But 3I/ATLAS was far from the sun when MAVEN observed it, far beyond the distance where most comets remain frozen solid. Why is it sublimating water where it shouldn't? 3 possibilities. Internal heat from radiogenic decay, super volatile chemistry unlike solar system ices, or a thick insulating crust allowing controlled venting. All 3 scenarios point to an origin environment fundamentally different from our comets. And Avi Loeb has been saying this for years. Interstellar objects carry fingerprints of alien star systems. Despite NASA's underwhelming image quality, 3I/ATLAS proves him right. Third anomaly, the angled tail. Punch's imaging shows the tail shifted at an angle inconsistent with solar wind forces. In every textbook, comet tails point directly opposite the sun. Radiation pressure from sunlight pushes dust away. Solar wind plasma sweeps ions outward. But 3I/ATLAS, its tail doesn't obey. And this isn't instrument error or processing artifact, because amateur astronomers see the same phenomenon. Multiple independent observers with different equipment all capturing jets pointing in directions that shouldn't be possible under standard comet physics. There are 2 explanations. Local solar wind variability, meaning the environment around the comet is shifting unpredictably, or non-gravitational acceleration from asymmetric jets. The second explanation mirrors Oumuamua's unexplained velocity changes. Oumuamua accelerated without visible outgassing. Scientists proposed exotic hypotheses: hydrogen icebergs, nitrogen icebergs, even reflective light sails. The scientific establishment resisted Loeb's artificial origin hypothesis, then scrambled to invent natural mechanisms that had never been observed before. Now 3I/ATLAS shows similar behavior. Path deviations, angled tails, forces that don't match gravitational models. Loeb called this pattern years ago. Interstellar visitors don't follow solar system rules because they weren't formed here. Fourth anomaly, thermal contradictions. SphereX detected a hot core. SOHO saw dim visible light. Webb found strong infrared emission. This means the surface reflects poorly in optical wavelengths but radiates efficiently in thermal bands. That's consistent with a dark, heat-absorbing exterior, possibly carbon-rich, possibly metallic. Definitely not the bright icy surface we associate with comets. Combined with MAVEN's water halo and high-rises anisotropic heating, the data suggests a layered structure: hard crust, volatile rich interior, selective outgassing. This isn't a dirty snowball tumbling through space. It's a complex, thermally stratified object shaped by processes we don't understand. And NASA knew this. That's why they mobilized 15 spacecraft, even if the images they released don't show it clearly. Let's talk about what nobody's saying out loud. NASA's image gallery is embarrassing. 15 spacecraft, billions and billions of dollars in taxpayer-funded equipment, years of engineering, petabytes of computational power. And this is the result: blurry blobs, pixelated smudges, and inconsistent data. High-rise's best image looks like a street lamp through fog. 1 pixel represents 20 kilometers. The nucleus is completely obscured by coma. NASA hosted an entire live stream to unveil this. An entire presentation. For a white semicircle that tells us essentially nothing about the object's actual structure. James Webb Space Telescope, supposedly the most advanced infrared observatory ever constructed, captured what can generously be described as a handful of bright pixels. This is the telescope that images galaxies 13 billion light-years away with stunning clarity. But an interstellar visitor inside our solar system? Pixelated mess. Hubble's image is grainy and blurred. MAVEN's resolution is so low that 1 pixel covers 33,000 miles of space. SOHO barely detected the object at all, nearly lost in instrument noise. Now compare this to amateur astronomers. Backyard astrophotographers with $3,000 to $30,000 worth of equipment have been posting images that are sharper, more detailed, and more consistent than anything NASA released. Multiple jets clearly visible, tail structure evolving over days, high-resolution coma morphology, all captured from Earth's surface through atmospheric distortion with consumer-grade telescopes. These amateurs show consistency across observations. Same jet patterns, same tail evolution, coherent data that matches night after night. Meanwhile, NASA's 15 spacecraft armada produces contradictory images where some show sunward-facing tails and others show anti-sunward tails from the same time period. When your billion-dollar space agency is being outperformed by hobbyists with telephoto lenses, something is deeply wrong. Either with the data processing, the observation strategy, or the transparency about what's actually being captured. Avi Loeb has been demanding this transparency for years. Show the raw data. Let independent scientists analyze it. Stop gatekeeping. NASA's response? Carefully curated press releases and image galleries that raise more questions than they answer. Let's synthesize what 15 spacecraft collectively reveal. 3IATLAS has a layered structure. Hard exterior crust, volatile rich interior. It's sublimating water at distances where solar system comets stay frozen. It's producing controlled, uniform outgassing instead of chaotic jets. Its tail doesn't point away from the sun. Its trajectory shows non-gravitational acceleration. Every single anomaly matches patterns Avi Loeb predicted for interstellar objects. Loeb's argument has always been simple. Objects from other star systems formed under different conditions. Different stellar radiation, different planetary dynamics, different chemical abundances. They won't behave like our comets and asteroids. 3IATLAS proves this, spectacularly. Is it artificial? The data doesn't prove propulsion systems or technological origins, but it absolutely proves unfamiliar physics. Nature operating under rules we haven't encountered in 4 billion years of solar system observations. And that's Loeb's point. We don't need to jump to alien spacecraft. We need to acknowledge that interstellar space produces objects we've never seen before, objects with properties that challenge our models. 3IATLAS is one. Oumuamua was another. Borisov showed different anomalies. The pattern is clear. Interstellar visitors are weird, consistently weird, fundamentally different from anything orbiting our sun. NASA deployed 15 spacecraft to observe 3IATLAS, Hubble, James Webb, MAVEN, HiRISE, Psyche, Lucy, Parker Solar Probe, Europa Clipper, billions of dollars in taxpayer-funded equipment. The result? Blurry images that amateur astronomers with backyard telescopes are outperforming. Contradictory data where some missions see sunward tails and others see anti-sunward tails. Inconsistent observations that raise more questions than they answer. But despite the image quality disaster, the underlying data speaks clearly. Controlled outgassing, water sublimation at impossible distances, angled tails, path deviations, thermal contradictions, layered structure. Avi Loeb was right. Interstellar objects demonstrate non-standard physics. They carry chemical signatures from alien star systems. They behave in ways our models don't predict. Not a simple comet, an interstellar artifact of natural processes we're only beginning to understand. The images may be disappointing. The implications are not. Stay curious, question everything, and demand better from the agencies spending billions in your name. Because when backyard astronomers consistently outperform NASA, something needs to change.